out and away we... Bing bang!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of the Paddock Talk podcast. I'm Kyle.
I'm Scott.
And we're going to be giving you, I guess, what we thought of the Monaco Grand Prix and our predictions on the Spanish Grand Prix that's going to be happening this weekend. So I guess we'll just start right away and get into the final order of the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You want me? I will start off. I have it pulled up here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not classified. Finishing in dead last is Sir Lancelot, Lance Stroll. K-Mag finishing 19th. Logan Sargent 18th. Nico Hülkenberg 17th. Checo Perez 16th. Yuki Tsunoda 15th. Alexander Albon 14th. Zhou Guan Yu 13th. Nick Debris 12th. And Valtteri Bottas 11th.
Then we had Oscar Piastri in 10th, Lando Norris in 9th, Carlos Sainz Jr. in 8th, I added the junior, Pierre Gasly in 7th,
Classy,
Charles Leclerc in 6th, George Russell in 5th, Lewis Hamilton in 4th, Esteban Ocon with his first podium of the year in 3rd, Fernando Alonso in 2nd, and old Super Max Verstappen finishing the race with the dub again. Scott, nothing really happened until, lap 60-something, when rain started to fall?
Yeah, it was... Okay, so I watched it, and I was like, okay, Fernando's starting on the hard compounds. Cheeky. Let's see how this plays. So, Max starts on mediums, rips through, pushes the mediums to their absolute limit. Got him to, I think it was 57 when the rain started. And it was just unfreaking believable. Alonso starts catching when Max starts hitting the back markers. You see it go from 20 seconds to 15, 10, 8, 7. And you're like, oh shit, the strategy worked. The plan's in effect. And to quote old John Fogerty, have you ever seen the freaking rain, man? The rain comes out, and that's when the shit show started. So I guess what we need to talk about is, did Aston Martin screw over Fernando Alonso with that strategy call? What do you think?
Yes and no. Yes, because I think if he would have pitted and went on to wet tires, he would have had a greater chance of winning the race. Probably. But, I mean, you can't predict weather, and that's what they said. I was kind of thinking they were maybe thinking the rain wasn't going to be as hard or end a little bit earlier, so Fernando might have been able to stay on the slicks for a little bit longer. But I saw him go in a little early, and I was like, wets. And then he came out on dry tires, and I was very upset.
Yeah, so when I was watching... they say, Fernando goes or is coming in. I'm like, holy shit, he's going to inners. He's going to make all this time up and catch Max because Max is still on the soft tires or the mediums. And they drop the jack. He pulls away. And I'm like, wait, what? He's on what? I mean, like you said, it's hard to predict the weather. Shit's very unpredictable, especially right off the coast. But, I mean, it was pretty treacherous in the second sector. I believe that's where the rain was kind of hitting the hardest. Around I want to say it was around, the Lowe's hairpin area. I don't understand it. How do you not, on your radar, just go put them on inters? If it screws up, it's fine. We'll switch to the soft tires. All that time he could have made up on those inters for that one lap while Max was slip sliding around. He could have made up and passed Verstappen. I was watching Julian's Palmer's analysis on F1 TV. He would have had, if he would have ran a outlap that Lewis Hamilton ran when he switched to inters, he would have had an 8-second clearing on Max Verstappen. If he would have ran an Esteban Ocon-esque outlap, he would have had a 5 second, like, in the clear of Max Verstappen in the lead. But shit didn't go down that way.
No, and as an Aston Martin fan, and I think them as well, they even talked about it. They have to be kind of thankful that they ended up finishing second, just because they had to end up going in for wets again after that wrong decision.
Yep.
So, like you see people do that all the time and just fall down the leaderboard. So you have to be thankful that they ended up getting second.
Oh yeah. And Palmer also talked about when he was talking about it. You're used to seeing this with Ferrari. If it's going to be a screw up, Ferrari's normally top of the line, which they ended up doing anyway. But with Aston Martin, this is their first time punching for a win. So maybe that second guessing while you're fighting for that lead, you can understand them kind of maybe trying to be a little risque with your strategy calls. But going forward, you kind of learned your lesson. If it's raining, you might as well just throw intermediates out, like on.
Yeah, I think they were kind of galaxy braining it a little too much. But like you said, like fighting for wins, like Red Bull never makes those mistakes. You know what I mean? Like their pit crew is
Hardly
always
ever.
on it. Their strategy decisions are always on. Max, every single race is just on. You can't turn it off, even when he's sick. So I think they just have to take it as a learning curve.
Oh yeah. And speaking of that cluster of a race, let's look back at our picks, which I didn't write mine down, but I'm almost positive I had it as Fernando Alonso for me, Max Verstappen, and Checo Perez. I was clearly wrong. How'd your picks go?
Yeah, so I had Fernando Alonso finishing first. Almost happened. Wrong. Second was Max Verstappen. Ended up winning, obviously. And my third was Lewis Hamilton, which I think, what did we say? He finished fifth, so that was wrong. And then I had
He was fourth.
fourth. Okay, that was wrong. And then I had Shaw finishing last. Wrong.
Yeah, I had Shaw too. I mean, sixth place for the Ferrari, not terrible. But yeah, I had Checo, and shit, he couldn't even make it out of Q1.
No.
Bins it within 5 minutes of quali, and we had a Red Bull sandwich with Max Verstappen taking pole and Checo starting last. Monaco, for a Monaco race, it wasn't bad. I know I was seen on social media. Typical Monaco race, no passing, no nothing. I mean, we could have had a pass for the lead in the pits, but if Aston Martin would have changed to freaking inters, we would have had a new leader.
Yeah, like you said, like up until the rain started to fall, it was pretty boring, but those last 15 laps of the race were very exciting, I thought. I could not stop watching.
Yeah, and just think how you'd have felt if you were Kevin Magnussen stuck on hards, like 6, 7 laps into the rain. Everybody switched to wet tires, and he's just chilling out. Like, hello, do you guys even have tires for me right now?
Yeah.
It was a literal shit show, and like that's what you kind of expect with Monaco. You know what? It's either going to be really boring, or it's going to be boring with a tinge of something extra. And normally that rain always brings that extra.
Yeah.
But that was last week. You want to talk about this week?
Yes. So
So we were.
no, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go right ahead. Nope. Go ahead. Nope.
Yeah, so Spain, you said they were racing on a new an old layout?
So new old layout. Since I'm trying to think, the mid 2000s, they've had this newer layout where it is literally the same layout except the third sector at the end going to the front stretch has been a chicane. So 1-2, 1-2 chicane to slow the cars down for some reason. It makes no sense. It's the worst thing you can put in a track. Like driving the F1 games, the shit drives me nuts. It's stupid. Like it makes no damn sense. So they took that chicane out, and now they have a rounder chicane. Or not a rounder, a chicane. It's more like a turn. So you do your hairpin uphill turn right, straight ahead. I wouldn't say a 90-degree turn, and you're going to the front stretch. You're balls deep, going flat out for a lot longer now.
Yeah.
And it just makes the flow. I've always talked about flow of a track. It makes if the track flow better. That chicane was just stupid. Like, it made no damn sense. So I like this flow, and Fernando Alonso is the only driver on the track or racing this weekend who has raced that old style chicane or that old style track. And to pull up in the 1086 F1 races, this will be Fernando Alonso's 362nd start. That's exactly 33.3% of all races. This will be his 33rd race at the circuit. He will be in garage and pit box number 33, and he's going for his 33rd win at his home circuit. Do you smell destiny in the air?
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? No. I want to say yes. I want to say Fernando will get a win. But just looking at the free practices today, Max just looks way too good in that Red Bull. And like you said, like the flow of the track, how they increased it. I think he was 5 seconds ahead of the second fastest car today. And I just don't think Fernando's going to be able to compete with Max in that Red Bull.
Yeah, looking at FP2 practice, Verstappen was first. Fernando Alonso was second. He was only about 0.2 of a second slower. But that Red Bull is fast in a straight line. The power parts of the track, which Spain has that massive front stretch, the back stretch, that's going to give Red Bull a huge advantage. Nico Hülkenberg was third, which surprised the hell out of me because, again, as I've always said, FP2 is
The qualifying
your
prediction.
kind of gauge. That's where you're going to have your qualifying setups running. And Checo was fourth, and Esteban Ocon was fifth. So, I mean, yes, the Aston Martin does have a problem in the straight line. But I think maybe Fernando could find enough time in sectors 2 and early into sector 3 to maybe kind of get close to the Red Bulls. And you never know. Max may have an issue. One power unit gone. We've already seen Checo is very inconsistent with quali. You never know. I'm gonna chalk it up to destiny. It could happen. Like, I just have this strong feeling that maybe the fates are lined up for this race.
Yeah, I hope so as well. And with you throwing all those numbers at me a little bit before, I'm going to throw some numbers at you.
Ooh.
So this is going to be Williams' 800th Grand Prix in Formula One, which I think is incredible. I know they've been around forever. And then a lot of teams are bringing upgrades to Spain, and I have a full list of them here. So Red Bull is bringing 2 upgrades, the floor edge and diffuser, both for performance. Aston Martin's bringing 5 upgrades to Spain. Front wing end plate, nose, rear wing end plate, and beam wing, all performance. Mercedes is bringing 2 upgrades, side pod inlet and diffuser, both for performance. Ferrari's bringing 3, rear wing, engine cover, and floor edge. Rear wing's circuit specific, but other 2 are both for performance. And then McLaren's bringing 1, front corner performance. AlphaTauri 2, rear wing end plate, both performance. And then Williams is bringing 2, front wing and engine cover, both circuit specific. Do you think any of those upgrades are going to help any of these teams, get up the order a little bit?
Williams probably not, because let's face facts. It's the Williams.
Yeah, and it's just
unless
for
it's Monza, or possibly Mexico. There's no. They're just so in the shits right now with um, with twisty circuits, and Spain is a kind of mix between a power and a downforce circuit because I mean they used to test there for the last 10 years because it gave you the best of both worlds. Uh, baby steps, Aston Martin definitely looks to have helped a bit. I guess we don't know because, Lance Stroll was 18th in FP2. I don't know. Mercedes looks strong too. Like Mercedes is always going to be strong. Lewis is always strong in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Until we see them in quali in the race, I honestly I couldn't tell you because teams could be sandbagging a bit in practice and not trying to show their hand.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know Red Bull has been doing that in qualifying.
Always.
You want to get into our predictions for Spain?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Where do I have my predictions written at? So I'll go for quali. I'll go who I have starting in third. I got Fernando Alonso. I think the Aston Martin on that one lap quali, I think it'll be strong enough to get to the third step of the podium. Oh my God. To be third in quali, obviously 1 and 2, probably everybody can guess. But who's your third?
I have Charles Leclerc. I thought he looked good in
Ooh.
qualifying in Monaco. The grid penalty kind of screwed him a little bit. We'll see what happens. Ferraris, they're screwing Carlos. They screwed him at Monaco as well, but we'll talk about Charles right now. He's third.
Hey, for once, they didn't screw him over at his home track too much. So we can't hold it too bad against him.
Mm-hmm.
Starting second is going to be Sergio Perez for me. The Red Bull, like we talked about, is a monster. This track, I think, is going to be no different in quali. So I got Checo. So who do you have?
I have Fernando Alonso qualifying second. He started there a lot this season. I think he's just penciled in there, second fastest car.
Nice. Well, I have on pole, no shock, Max Verstappen. Like, class of the field so far in FP1, FP2. I just think he's going to do it again. So, Mad Max, starting on pole.
And starting on pole for me is Nick de Vries. No, I'm just kidding. It's the other Dutchman, Max Verstappen. We know what to expect of him. He's amazing. First.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so race prediction, last place. You know what? I gave him a reprieve in Monaco, but you know what? I was gonna pick Yuki Tsunoda, but my spider sense is tingling right now. I'm gonna go Kevin Magnussen. He's gonna finish last in the GP. Who do you have?
I have Alex Albon finishing last.
Ooh,
I
can't
don't
go
know.
wrong with the Williams.
Yeah, with the Williams as well, but he tends to make mistakes still for not being a rookie. Just bad mistakes.
I understand. That's not a bad call. In my bottom step of the podium, I got Max Verstappen. I don't know why. I was writing it. Maybe my hand was possessed as I was writing my predictions down, but for some reason, it just felt right to put him at third. How about you?
I have Esteban Ocon finishing on the podium again. Looked good in Monaco. He looked good today in free practice. The Alpine looks quicker. His Alpine looks quicker anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'll finish third on the podium.
Interesting. I have Checo Perez. At second. I don't know. Like I said, it just felt weird. Like I was just flowing. My brain. I just went like in a blackout, and my brain just started writing stuff down. And Checo Perez felt that way. Maybe he gets a jump on Max and gets ahead of him, and Max can't just get by him. And he's like, "Hey, I'm faster. Can you tell him to let him by?" And Checo is going to respond with a, "No, I told you already. I'm not going to let him by. You know my reasonings." How about you?
So I have El Plan, Fernando Alonso finishing second. Again, that I see that Red Bull car in my nightmares. I do.
No love. Well, at least I have love for the hometown guy. I have El Plan winning the GP. I think the stars are aligning, and after last week's race, they're floating, they're buzzing. Aston Martin is buzzing right now. Besides the screw up in pit on the strategy call, but the car looks good. The driver's even better, and that team's hitting on all cylinders. Like I read out earlier, it's destiny, my friends. It is destiny. He is destined to win this damn race. So you can't go wrong with destiny. So it's El Plan.
So winning the Grand Prix for me in Spain is Max Verstappen. In Monaco, he passed Sebastian Vettel as the winningest Red Bull driver of all time, and I think he's going to grow his lead in Spain.
Ooh. I mean, it is the home to his first ever win in F1.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be was it win number 34?
Yeah, around there, 34, 35.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what Red Bull what their win record was. But yeah, he's going to be strong. Like I'm going with my gut. You're going with your brains. You're obviously putting more educated guesses into this. I'm more a feel. Like I just feel it's destiny. It is destiny. He's got this. But you're probably going to be right. The Red Bulls are just way too overpowered. They're just beyond good.
Yeah, I feel with my predictions, I kind of flip-flop on there. Sometimes I go with my gut. Sometimes I just go with my brain. Today I'm feeling my brain. And also because I tend to bet and I keep losing money on these F1 races, dude.
That's fair. Yeah, because like I went with my gut last week and yeah, I was pretty awful. So I mean, maybe I should start going with my brain. Maybe I should start mapping all these out. Like, okay, wait, statistically, this guy is better in the last 5 races. He's done this, this, this.
Yeah, you're like the guy with all the lines on maps in a room.
Oh, Charlie from Always Sunny.
Yeah.
The conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he fired us like last week. Oh, okay. But yeah, you have anything else to add?
No, I think we were talking before about much news in Formula One. I just saw that Lewis Hamilton was working on a documentary of his about his life. I'll probably end up watching it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What's it supposed to be on? Do they have anything on there yet?
I might have heard Apple TV that he's doing it with. I think it might have been Apple TV.
Okay.
I'll have to check that. I should have had this, but
oh, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I want to say too. I think it is Apple TV because he is going to be the executive producer, or he's got like producing credit on the movie that's going to come out next year with Brad Pitt, the F1 movie. And he is helping out, so I could see that being like you do that for us, and then we'll do this documentary on you, make it look good,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll watch it because it's F1 related, and Lewis Hamilton is going to go down as one of the greatest racers of all time.
No doubt.
But yeah, with such a short turnaround, there's not really much news per se in F1. Hopefully, after the Spanish Grand Prix, we'll have a nice week off and more news will pop up. So you don't have anything else to bring up, huh?
No. Wait. Did you see everyone really mad at Red Bull because their car was lifted, or Red Bull really mad because their car was lifted during qualifying?
Oh yeah, yeah, because I've seen it. I mean, come on, like don't wreck the car if you don't want people to know what's going on. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Monaco. They use those cranes everywhere on the track.
Yeah, I guess for people
Hey, you
listening,
didn't hear Mercedes bitching about it because you didn't hear Mercedes bitching too much about it because I mean Mercedes doesn't have much to brag about on the underfloor of their car, but I mean, yeah, I think Mercedes did joke that they got enough good pictures of the Red Bull to maybe help them with their car. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I thought it was funny as well that Mercedes, it kind of seemed like they were like, hey, our car was lifted too. But no one's looking at the Mercedes over the Red Bull. Their floor, anyway, for people listening. I think it was what in qualifying when Checo crashed, a crane lifted up the Red Bull and everyone got a glimpse of the Red Bull floor,
Oh yeah,
which I
and
think is one of
Lewis
their
was
best
it Lewis
design
that wrecked
parts.
in? Oh yeah, and Lewis I think wrecked in free practice 3. I think in the same spot. So yeah, it's not the SpongeBob meme. Yeah, yeah, write that down. Like for Mercedes, but definitely for Red Bull,
Yeah,
because yeah, their downforce has been pretty damn impressive in cornering. Uh, I mean, why wouldn't you?
yeah. But no, that's all I had, man.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll do it for this. What was it, episode 11
Episode
of the
11.
Paddock Talk podcast? Jesus, man, we're getting there. We'll just keep humming them out. If everybody keeps listening, we'll keep banging them out. But as always, I appreciate everybody for listening. To the millions and millions of Paddock Talk fans out there that take time out of their day to listen to our humble but little podcast about F1. Uh, I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I know Kyle does too as well. Thank you guys for listening. I'm sure we'll have we'll have a Spanish post race breakdown hopefully soon before Kyle goes on vacation. Is this true? We're
Yep,
gonna have one.
Monday.
Yeah, beauty. Hells yeah. All right, guys. Again, thank you for listening. I've been Scott.
And I have been Kyle.
Thank you. Have a great night, great day, and enjoy the Spanish Grand Prix.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Paddock Talk. Don't forget to like and share the episode, and check us out at Paddock Talk on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Discord.